Okay, I'm gonna make a real quick video on how to change a tire, and if you're caught out in the wilderness or on some trails, what you should be doing and how the safest way to change a tire. One of the first things that you want to do before you attempt to remove the tire is to make sure that the chain is on the smallest gear. That way the tire, particularly on the back, that way the tire will come off a lot easier. If you have it up on any of these gears up here, it's going to be stretching the chain, and then you're going to have some resistance when you get ready to pull the tire off the frame. So you need to shift the gears and make sure that it's on the smallest, going on the far right down here. Okay, when we get ready to change a tire, the tire tube, what I'm going to do is replace it with a good tube as opposed to patching the bad tube. So it's a quick switch, and tubes run you about $5 each. But if you're out on the road, or if you're out on the trails, it's worth its value to just replace the old tube, unless you want to spend time finding the hole and patching it up and then replacing it. So what I normally do is just carry some extra tubes with me, so I can just switch it out. So the things you're going to need is a pump, an air pump. Of course, you're going to need your good tube, and these are levers that you're going to remove the old tube from the tire. And then we have some CO2 cartridges and a nozzle. And what this will do is air up the tire to the appropriate PSI once you get the tube back in there. So what we're going to do is just take this off. I usually like to put the valve stem on the bottom. We're going to use the levers here, and what we're going to do is just pry open the tire with one lever, and use the other lever here to slide the tire around off the rim. Once you get that done, and it's a lot easier on mountain bikes than it is on road bikes, because the tire is a lot sturdier. So you reach in here and you grab this tube and you just pull it out. One of the important things is, particularly if you're on in some of the trails, is you need to use your fingers and run them on the inside of the tire to see if there's any protruding objects. So you look and then you feel along the inside of the tire to see if there's anything that's still sticking inside the tube. That way you don't puncture the new tube when you put it back in the tire. You want to look and feel, and when we're sure that there's nothing that's stuck in the tire, we want to get our new tube, which is going to be flat, completely flat. Now what we want to do, a little trick to the trade, is use your pump, your handheld pump, and just put a little bit of air in the tube. That way it'll be a little bit easier when you're sticking it in the tire. Okay, so we've got a little bit of air in there. We find the hole, put the valve stem in through the hole, and we want to work the tube inside the tire. So we want to just work it in there. I like to go around both ends. Okay. Now that the tube is in there, and what we want to do is we want to work, let me do this up here. We want to work the tire on the rim. And I like to start at the valve stem up here and work it in there and then push it down. Like I said, on a mountain bike it's a lot easier. On the road bike, you're going to find that there's a lot of resistance with the stiffness of the tire. once we got the tube and the tire, make sure that there's no play, pull it all the way down. Make sure that the tube is not being pinched between the tire and the rim. So you go around the tire, and I like to grasp it both sides like this, and just make sure that it's not being pinched before you air it up. Then what you can do, and I won't open this up, but you can use your CO2 cartridge that will air it up. This will air up probably about 30-40 pounds. The instructions will be on here in terms of how much air it'll put in for you. Yeah, there it is, 30 to 40 pounds, depending on the cartridge size. These are worth their weight in gold. You air it up, put your tire back on your bike, and you're ready to go. Alrighty.